now showing in the past couple of radar scans that we're dealing with a little bit of rotation. So again, if you were previously in that severe thunderstorm warning, there's now a smaller area that is now under a tornado warning. Let me zoom in nice and close so you know exactly what I'm talking about. We'll get rid of that lightning, and it's just south of Gonzales, including parts of Sorrento, and it does include pretty much the entire interstate from Gonzales all the way to Laplace. So keep that in mind. If you're about to hop on the interstate between Gonzales and Laplace, I would hang out. Make sure you are not driving through a tornado warned storm. That could be pretty dangerous. So again, this is the area. Let me see if I could get a pointer out here for you. Here is the area just south of Gonzales here. It does include this entire stretch of the interstate all the way to Laplace. Now I'm going to mess with some of these palettes and see if we can get any rotation showing up here. This is a radar indicated storm, which means that we don't have any local storm reports at this time, but again, it is possible. What you're looking at here, this is storm motion or velocity. What this shows is what direction the storm is moving, and what we know is that if it's green, that means it's moving towards the radar. If it's red, it's moving away. And when we see them very close together, that's how we know that there's some kind of rotation with the storm. So noticing a little bit of green and red coupling together here, so thinking that that is the main source of rotation, but this will likely continue off to the east within this red area here. This warning is until 10:30 in Ascension, Livingston, and St. James parishes. More importantly, it is including the interstate all the way from Gonzales all the way to Laplace. So if you're about to hop on I-10 going south toward New Orleans, make sure you have a plan. You don't want to be driving through a tornado warning at this time. Get off the interstate, just hang out, find a safe place, and do not drive through this storm. Could be a pretty dangerous situation. The storm cell itself, before there was even a tornado warning issued on it, was capable of producing winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And now we do have this little area of rotation that we're going to watch as it quite literally follows the interstate to Laplace. So let's go ahead. I'll put the radar back on and we can see what it looks like at this time. If you're hearing a lot of lightning and thunder, this may apply to you. We still have a lot of lightning and thunder on the board. Here's a look at the live radar. Again, areas included within the warning. It is just south of Gonzales. It is not including Donaldsonville. It is right on the border between Ascension and St. James Parish. And then it does go a little bit outside of the WBRZ viewing area and starts to include those areas right along the lakes there. Areas included in the warning will be near Sorrento, just south of Gonzales. This little cell is moving around 40 miles per hour, so it is moving pretty fast and it'll be out of here very soon. If you are within a tornado warning, it's always good practice to go to your safe space, put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can, get away from those windows, and again, since it was just issued, we're really watching this area here as it starts to trek off to the east. The interstate, it does include the interstate. So even if you're not in this tornado warning right now and you are in Baton Rouge or you're in areas further to the north, if you are about to hop on the interstate and head toward New Orleans, you do not want to do that right now because the entire interstate I-10 from Gonzales all the way to Laplace is in a tornado warning for a dangerous storm that's capable of producing a tornado and showing a little bit of rotation at this time. So if you can really help it, make sure you are staying off the roadways, waiting for this strong storm to pass by. And in addition to the tornado warning, we're also dealing with a larger severe thunderstorm warning that is including all of Ascension Parish, all of St. James Parish, parts of Livingston Parish as well, for the possibility of wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. And those wind gusts, in addition to all of the heavy rain, the lightning and thunder, that can make for some pretty dangerous driving conditions in itself. And now we also have this tornado warning that's active now through 10:30 in this area here just south of Gonzales, probably including the southern parts of the city here, Sorrento, and including the entire interstate between between Gonzales all the way to Laplace, and you can even see the intersection here with I-55 in Laplace. So again, if you're about to hop on the interstate and head toward New Orleans, hold on a minute, wait for this very strong storm to pass by your area. You don't want to be driving through a severe thunderstorm, and you definitely don't want to be driving through a storm capable of producing a tornado. I'm going to go back and we're going to try to see what kind of rotation is showing up on there at this time. It wasn't looking super convincing, but of course you can never be too careful when it comes to a severe warned storm. There again is that little bit of rotation, actually looking a little bit more significant from the last time I checked it. So here's what I'm talking about. You can see on the bars here, if you see red, that means it's moving away from the system. When it's green, it's moving toward the radar. Now, when you see them together, that means you have a small area where some is moving away and toward, and therefore we have some kind of a rotation, some kind of a circle going on. And right here, it's not very obvious, but there's a little pocket of red in this sea of green, and that's the rotation that we're talking about. With just some larger scale rotation, that means we could see some smaller scale rotation or potentially a tornado. This is all radar indicated, meaning this is all just evaluations based on what we can see here on the radar imagery. We don't have any reports just yet, but you can never be too careful. If you are in Sorrento right now, make sure you are going to your safe space. Get away from the windows. You do not need to go to the window and look outside and see what's going on. It's not safe. There is a very serious storm moving through your area. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can, and grab your pets, grab your kids, and just hang out and wait for this to pass by. This tornado warning will be active until 10:30. And again, we're just now in the Sorrento area with that rotation, and it's going to continue to trek off to the east. Another important thing with this warning, it's also within a larger severe thunderstorm warning, which means that there are a lot of areas dealing with strong storms at this time that are not within that tornado warning. I'm going to switch it back now to the live radar, zoom it out a little bit. So of course we do have that tornado warning, but we also have a larger severe thunderstorm warning that's including Port Vincent, that is including Killian, Donaldsonville, Lutcher, most of St. James Parish at this time. That will be active until about 10 o'clock, and this tornado warning is active until 10:30. Again, if you are within that tornado warning, make sure you are moving to your safe space. This is going to be active until 10:30 for Sorrento, and then areas further to the east, directly to the east until you meet up with Laplace. Continue to have a way to receive warning information in the event that things in your area do start to deteriorate and become severe. Right now, again, one severe thunderstorm warning here, including Ascension Parish and areas further to the east. We'll continue to keep you updated on WBRC, WBRZ Plus, and online. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
This could easily spin up a brief week, spin up tornado, although again, not seeing any major indications of some rotation. This would likely be close to the surface, considering the fact that the radar sites in Slidell. So the radar beam is estimated to be hitting over 3,000 feet in the atmosphere. So that is why it is kind of hard to see if there is any rotation, but I put a track on this line of severe thunderstorms for you. Could be in Lutcher in about 8 minutes, the most dangerous part of the storm, if it is still moving to the east and southeast around 40 miles per hour. And keep in mind, there's just one kink in this line that prompted this tornado warning. So again, Norco around 30 minutes, Kenner 45 minutes, and Gramercy in about 7 minutes. So let me clear this off and we'll focus on the tornado warning again, just to hone this in for you. So Barman, McElroy, AC, you're all in this tornado warning. Again, this is along I-10, and if we pull up the traffic camera, this is I-10 in Sorrento. Not really showing anything too much, some very heavy rain, but this is just near where the heaviest of rain is falling. If we can get the traffic cam to pop up, I can show you right now what's going on the interstate. I would Definitely stay off the roads as long as possible. We have ongoing flash flooding issues in New Orleans, and more storms are expected to move across the area. But again, I'm not seeing any major signs of rotation with this one storm as of right now. I'm seeing some little areas with the reds and the greens, but I'm not seeing anything all too major at this time. If we have some tornado, it's likely, if anything, going to be quite rain wrapped. Again, I'm really not seeing much in the way of rotation. This is our rotation tracker. This shows the swath of where we have had some rotation in the past, and you can see, so this one particular area of this storm has some history of producing some rotation. So again, the most concerning area of this storm right now would be just to the southeast of Sorrento. So again, this is why we have this tornado warning in effect until 10:30. So again, this does include portions of South Central Ascension Parish, Southern Livingston Parish, but this is the extreme southern portion of Livingston Parish, Northeastern St. James Parish, and then Central St. John the Baptist Parish. So if you're traveling from Baton Rouge and you have to go to Gonzales, Sorrento, you're going to the Tanger outlet malls or anything like that, hold off for a couple of hours, because we're still going to be dealing with some strong storms, heavy rain, but behind this, we have just some plain rain right now. But over the last several hours, we've picked up on quite a bit of rain. I'll actually show you guys how much rain we've actually seen just within the last 12 hours. So to show you, see some of these reds. This is just south of Donaldsonville, and then in portions of our southern parishes, northern Assumption, over 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Some of the New Orleans metro, they've seen over 5 to 7 inches of rain. So again, this is why flash flooding is going to be a concern with any thunderstorms that develop today. So again, here's another look at the severe thunderstorm warning that we have in effect, which is until 10 a.m. So that's another 9 minutes. And if we are still seeing some of these winds possibly translating to the surface, I am still seeing some signs of this bowing segment. You can kind of see how it's bowing out a little bit. I would expect the National Weather Service to extend this to include areas closer toward southern Tangipahoa Parish, and then closer toward the North Shore and the New Orleans metro. But again, if this holds together, it could be in Laplace in about 20 minutes, Norco 30 minutes, Kenner about 45 minutes, and then Harahan in 50 minutes. But that would be out of our area by then. That would be more the New Orleans metro viewing area. So again, if you are wondering why we're on TV right now, we have an active tornado warning in effect for portions of Ascension Parish, and then portions of Southern Livingston Parish, St. John the Baptist, St. James. That is until 10:30. You see this red polygon there. So we've been tracking this line of thunderstorms. Basically, it moved through Baton Rouge, and then we were watching possibly for some straight line winds trying to reach the surface, winds in excess of 60 miles per hour trying to reach the surface between Plaquemine and White Castle. We haven't seen any reports of any wind damage, so we don't know if anything came out of that, but this line of thunderstorms been holding itself together for quite some time. So now we're starting to see a little kink in that line, and so that is why the National Weather Service went ahead and issued this tornado warning. I'm still really not seeing any visible signs or major signs of rotation, but this is just radar indicated. So tornado could possibly develop. Again, this is not confirmed. This is just radar indicated at this time. So that is why you want to put your severe weather safety plan into action and make sure you stay inside. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Don't go out looking for it. Don't go out on the roads or anything like that. If you are driving, be sure you exit and go to the safest sturdy building that you can find, whether that's a gas station, a brick and mortar building. Just stay away from overpasses, and then don't just go and drive and expect that you can outrun this, because it is moving, this line of storms moving to the east around 40 miles per hour. So let's put another track on this, just so folks, if you are just joining us and you're wondering what is going on, we have a line of severe thunderstorms moving from a line near south central Livingston Parish all the way to the northern portion of Assumption Parish. And it has been showing some signs of some damaging winds, so some straight line winds. There may be this little kink in that line causing for some rotation, and so that is why the National Weather Service went ahead and issued this tornado warning. But again, I'm still not seeing any major signs of any strong rotation within this, so this would be a brief spin-up tornado if anything does develop. So this is why we're saying stay where you are, put that severe weather safety plan into action. We will be with you until the threat does subside. Now, the National Weather Service is saying they will be downgrading the severe thunderstorm warning. They did not receive damage reports from the line that I was telling you guys about. So wind gusts in excess of 30 to 40 miles per hour will be possible with this line. And of course, where we are seeing this bow in the line, you can see how it's, I'll actually draw it for you just so you can see what I'm talking about. You see how it's bowing out a little bit? That's where we could have some of those strongest winds. So I'll zoom in and show you guys what I'm talking about. So basically near Lutcher, you could see some of these strong winds trying to reach the surface. So a lot of these areas are not very populated, which would be some a good sign, but also this is airline, I-10, very heavily populated travel areas, especially if you're trying to avoid the interstate. So if you can, just stay at home, stay off the roads. The strongest storms are moving through the area. They are moving to the east, so it's not going to storm all day long. Let me put the velocity products back on just so we can see where some of the concerning winds would be, to see if we can find any signs of rotation. Again, this is still about, these radar beams are still about 4,000 feet up in the atmosphere. So if anything is starting to rotate, it is going to be still pretty hard for us to see if there's any noticeable signs. I am seeing some drops in colors right about here, but still not seeing much. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this one particular tornado warning. But again, the National Weather Service says they are going to downgrade this severe thunderstorm warning. Let me see, 1 second, bear with me. But in the meantime, what we'll do, I'll show you guys, while I still have you, I'll show you guys what we can expect for the rest of the day. So today we still have that level 1 risk for severe weather, a marginal risk. That's going to be the case tomorrow as well. We have a cold front moving in from the north. It's going to stall out, and that's going to lead to rounds of possibly some heavy rain at times, as well as maybe a severe thunderstorm or two. Damaging winds, large hail will be our main threats. Tornadoes will be possible as well. We could see some brief spin-up tornadoes, but flooding, flash flooding will be our main concern. We also have a flash flood watch in effect until noon today. So this includes the Baton Rouge Metro. However, if you live in Assumption Parish and then the St. John the Baptist, St. James, and then the New Orleans Metro, you're under a flash flood watch until 4 o'clock. So I will time these storms out for you, but I will say that the National Weather Service went ahead and canceled the tornado warning. So after I show you guys this, I will send it back to programming. You can download the free BR Proud app to stay ahead.